Hello, Mama T here. I'm bringing you a special video. Normally I wait till Saturdays, but you're getting a special one today. I'm going to be using some Laura Geller products. There I'm showing you, I put on her Speckle Eye Primer. So I squirt some of that out of the little container. You could put that directly on your eyelids, but I don't. I put it on my finger, rub them together, and then put it on my eyelids. And that just, helps your eyeshadow to go on and helps it to stay on longer. So I get that rubbed in there. Next, I'm going to go to the Laura Geller Hydrating Face Spackle. And it's her spackles are primers. So that is a face primer. She just calls it spackle to help put your makeup on, make it go on smoother, and help it to stay on your face longer. So I'm getting that all rubbed in. I have already washed my face and put on all my skincare before this. Then next, I have a new thing I got, and it's the Laura Geller RSVP-Ready Big Night Out Full Face Palette. And it's a special thing she has right now. I don't know how long she'll have it, but she, as far as I know, she still has it on her website. I had mine on order for a while. Just got it not long ago, but as you can see, it opens up. And I did leave the little plastic things on mine just to help keep the color transfer from happening so bad. And on the left side of it, there is a cream blush, cream highlighter, and some lip creams. In the middle, there's a setting powder, ombre powder blush, a powder bronzer. And then there are liners, the liner and brow, and eyeshadows. And then there's a mirror on the right-hand side that is a 5X mirror, and then a regular full face. So I'm showing you here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the eyeshadow. I don't see any colors listed on here, which is how it normally is, but that's a light color that I always like to go over my eyelid with first and go all over the eyelid using my BK Beauty eyeshadow brush. So I just put that all over, and it has really good coverage, really good pigment. So I put that all over. And you can see I'm saying, yep, it works good. So then I'm going to get a little e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to go into this. I have a rust color shirt on, so I went into the eyeshadow that was kind of like a shiny rust color. Down there on the bottom left, again, I don't see any names. The eyeshadows do have an LG embossed on them, though. You might could see that. So it's really pretty. It's a really pretty palette. And I don't remember how much it was, but Laura Geller, if you go to her website, she has sales all the time, and you can watch, and there's always a sale plus so much more off, and you can always get some really good deals if you watch. You just have to be patient and wait for her to have one, but she has something just about every day. So there I'm putting that rust color on my eyes. I think it looks really good, matches my shirt perfectly. So I'll put that on there. And then I'm going to go back up into that whitish color and put some more right on my lids. I really didn't need to do that now that I look at it and see, but that's okay. It'll still work out. So I put a little bit more of that on both of my eyelids to brighten those up. This did have liner. I have permanent eyeliner, so I don't have to put eyeliner on. And it says /brow. So you could use, if you had a brow brush or a brow pen, you could use the powder eyebrow color that's in this palette, but I didn't have the brush for it, so I had a Laura Geller eye pencil, so I'm just using that. It's a creamy top pencil on one end and a spoolie on the other end, so I'm just going through and applying that to my eyebrows, try to make them show up a little bit more. They're kind of sparse, plus there's a lot of grays in there, so I try to cover those up. So I just keep going over that, wiping across it to get more color in my brows. So once I think I have enough, I'll stop with that. And I have this Laura Geller, it's kind of like a brow gel. I don't think it puts any color, but it's more like the e.l.f. Brow Lift, that clear sticky stuff. It's more like that. It's the sticky stuff that helps hold your brows down. And it's got the little brush on it is bent, so I really like it. It works pretty well. So I'll get that on both of my eyebrows, and that'll help hold them down. then I'm realizing, oh, I forgot to get out my eyelash curler. So I have to reach over here, whoop, just about drop something, and get my eyelash curler out of the little container and start curling my eyelashes. So I continue to curl my eyelashes, and it takes a while. Normally when I'm not doing a video, I would be holding it much longer than this, but I just did it for a little bit to get a little bit of curl into it. So I go from one eye to the other. And so after I think I've done that enough, I'm like, okay, where's my mascara? It's still up in the drawer. Have to reach over there for it. You know, I try to have everything out, but it never works. This is my Thrive Cosmetics mascara that I always use. Love this mascara because it's good. It's a good tubing mascara. So I just put some of that on one eye. And when I think it has enough, I'll go and put some more on the other eye. Just swiping, trying to get some more of those tubes mixed in with my lashes to make them look longer and fuller, because I need help in that area. Okay, so that's enough of that. And next thing I'm going to do is put on some concealer, and I do have a Laura Geller concealer, which I do like. Her products are really good quality, so I just put a couple little dots under my eyes. And then I'm going to take my Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush and blend that in, making sure I go up in the corner of my eye and down underneath it. I didn't put a whole lot. Normally I do put a lot more than that, but you know, it's okay for today. Just getting ready to go to my grandson's school. He's getting a Terrific Kid Award, so that's why I'm getting ready. I was off from work today, and it's also my anniversary, so a lot going on today. And I thought, well, while I get ready, I'll record it. Here I'm using the Laura Geller Baked Brighten foundation, powder foundation, with the kabuki brush that comes with it. You just swirl it around, get some up on your brush, and start swiping it across your face. This foundation, when you first put it on, it looks like it's not doing anything, but it is. It's going on there, but it's like you have to wait a while, and then it shows up or something to that effect. I did notice later after this that mine did oxidize a little bit, and that has to be because of the skincare I use today, because I have worn this product before without that happening. But I know that what you wear under it can cause that too. So I believe that's what happened in my case. So I'm going to put up the kabuki brush and the foundation. I'm finished with those. And so then I don't know what I'm looking for here. I'm looking. I'm looking at that palette, trying to figure out what to do next. And I'm going to go in. There's a contour on the bottom. So I'm going to go into that next. And well, they actually call it a powder bronzer, not a contour. They call it a bronzer. So I'm going to get some of the bronzer on my brush and start swiping that across my cheeks, up on my side of my eyes a little bit. And it's a pretty color. It doesn't have a color. It just says powder bronzer, which I guess it doesn't matter. You know, bronzer is a bronzer, so I don't guess it would need a color. And after that, up above it is the ombre powder blush. And you can see why they call it ombre. It's lighter on the right-hand side and darker on the left-hand side, and kind of like an ombre effect. And I just swipe across the whole thing to get some of all of those colors. So I use that and put some on both sides, on each cheek. Now I'm shaking my head. Yep, I like that. And then I notice up above the powder blush that there is a setting powder. So that's the next thing I'm going to go to. And you'll see right there, it says setting powder. And see, these have the LG embossed on them also. Like I say, this is a really pretty palette. So I got my BK Beauty powder blush, and I'm just going to put that over my whole face to set it. That's what a setting powder does, right? So I'm just swiping that across my whole face, trying to make sure I don't get it in my eyebrows. You know, I'm bad for that. And then they have a white cast to them, so I try to be careful of that. Okay, what am I looking for now, I wonder? Let's see. Oh, my little eye powder brush. So I got this other little brush. I love this Kingmas, and I'm putting some of the setting powder under my eyes to set that concealer. Okay, I think that'll be enough of that. So that's all I'm going to use out of this palette. And I'm going to fold it back up. I'll show you how it folds up. And again, I left the little clear plastic covers. You're supposed to take those off, but it was taped on each side of each section, and I just undid one side of each section and left that clear plastic on, like I say, to keep the color from transferring. Now I'm looking for a lipstick, and of course, you know, I try to have everything laid out, but I never do. There's always something I don't have, and now I'm looking for a lipstick. There I found a Laura Geller lipstick. This is that Italian marble. That doesn't show up a whole lot, but that's what I found, so that's what I'm going to use, and I'll just put that. Then I remember that I had not done my bottom lashes, so I get my Thrive Cosmetics mascara and go and do my bottom lashes. So that's that. So that's the makeup look for today's. So next I'm showing you that I'm going to put some heat protectant on my hair. This is the Dove Bond Shield Protector. And I pump a few squirts into my hands, roll them together, put it on my hair. I did wash my hair. It's not real wet because I've had it up in that towel thing, but you know, it is wet. So I put the heat protectant on it, and then I'm going to blow dry it. I'm showing you my wet hairbrush, and it's vented. It's got like the back of it's open. I used to use a round brush until I got this one, and I like it pretty good. I can use either one will work. But the good thing about this brush is it being open like that, and then the air can get through it. And I'm just drying. It takes a little while, and I even have it sped up, and it still takes a while to dry my hair. It's my hair, I guess it's just the texture of it, and then you can see all those grays I've got mixed in there. So I just keep drying and drying and drying. And I decide that's dry enough. Next thing I'm going to do is put in my Callista Velcro rollers. And you can see the little clips that come with it. I use 6 of the bigger sized, and I do have the set for short hair. So if you have long hair, you get the long hair set, and it'd be a lot bigger than this. But this is what I use because I do have short hair, and I always go up front, start there, and pull my, I guess what would be considered my bangs if I had bangs. They kind of, even though I part it on the side, and I put that up and clip it in, and then I'll just keep doing that. So I put 2 up on top of my head, 2, and then 2 on each side of my head. And I ain't real great at it either. You'll see there's hair still sticking out of it, but that's okay. It still works. And like I've said before, I don't take a comb and section out individual sections of hair and all that. And it still works. You know, it does the job, and that's what matters. So I'm just rolling it up on each side, talking to my husband. See my lips moving. And so then I keep rolling, go over to the other side and put those 2 curlers in. I just had my hair cut this past week, so it is even shorter now, and in the back I don't need to do anything because it's kind of cut out in the back like they do a stacked bob, I think they call it. And so I'm going on and on, getting all of those in there. Like I say, I have pieces of hair sticking out, and that's okay. Next, I'm going to use my John Frieda Volume Lift Spray. And I think that helps my hair a lot, too, once I have it up in the rollers to get some curl in it. So now it's been about 15-20 minutes later, and I'm going to go and take the rollers back out of my hair. And you can see that did quite a bit. And I don't put them in for curl, I put them in for body. And you can see that did quite a bit. It worked really good today. Some days I do it and I can't even hardly tell I did it, but today it seemed to really put some curl in there. Or not curl, but body. So I'm just taking my fingers, going through, and you see it's really puffed up there. So I'm going to have to take my brush and kind of calm that down some because I don't want it to stick up that much. So here I take my brush and kind of swap it down a little bit. But if you liked it like really puffy, you could leave it like that, but I didn't want mine quite that much. Then I'm going to take so I'm spraying so that it'll hopefully last a little while anyway. Got it all sprayed down, and then I'm going to show you what my pumpkin spice, all done. Thanks for watching.